Hi everyone, it's Matt and welcome to Collaboration Coach. This time we're going to be talking about sharing and specifically how sharing happens in Microsoft Teams. We're calling this a deep dive because we're going to get further into the details than we usually do. And this is part of a series we're doing on sharing. We'll also be adding a course on sharing to our collaboration school, so make sure you check that out as well. And I'll put a link to that in the description. So in this video, I'm going to talk about sharing link settings, and I'm going to explain how you choose who to share with and what they can do with the file once they have the link. I'm going to start by sharing a file from my OneDrive, and in the process, I'm going to get deep into the settings of the sharing link. I'm going to create a new conversation and attach a file from OneDrive. I'll choose Share a Link. And notice that when I do that, I have a little drop down underneath the file name. The label says people in your organization with the link can edit. But if I choose the drop down, the link settings window appears. And it's split into two parts. At the top is where you choose who the link is for. And at the bottom, you choose what it will allow them to do with the file. So let's start at the top. Now, anyone with a link means anyone at all. They don't have to be in your organization. They don't even have to log in to Microsoft 365. And they can be completely anonymous. If they have the link, they can open the file. So that's really useful if you want everyone to see what's in the file. If it was a public press release, for example, where you wanted as many people to see it as possible, then it's the perfect choice. But you can imagine there's also an element of risk when you use this option. The information in the file may be sensitive, and if it was shared with a competitor, that might be a problem. So for that reason, sometimes this option may be grayed out. Administrators can block the sharing of anyone links to minimize the risk of information falling into the wrong hands. So this option is very open, but very risky. Now, before we move down this list, let's have a look at the settings for this option, because each option has its own settings. In the other settings section at the bottom of this window, you can see all the things you can change for the anyone with a link option. The first one is allow editing. If you uncheck this box, the file can't be edited by the person with the link. The next option is an expiration date. Now, because this is an anyone link, we may want to limit the time in which it can be used. So we can set an expiration. And when that date is reached, the link will no longer work. We can also set a password. When the person with the link opens the file, they'll be asked for the password. So you'll need to type in a password here and then provide that along with the link. The final option is to block the download. This is only available when editing is unchecked, and it means that people who have the link can only view the file in the browser. They can't download and save the file elsewhere. Now let's go back up to the top section and look at the next option. The next option is people in your organization. So notice when I choose it, the other settings section changes. This option has different settings to the previous one. When you use people in your org, the person who has the link must have an account in your organization. So when they try and open up that link, it will prompt them to sign in. And if they can't sign in, then they can't use the file. This means that this link type is less open than the anyone link because we're being more specific about who can use it. Instead of anyone, we're choosing a specific group of people. That also means that there is less risk by choosing this option because the group of people that can use it is smaller and they must sign in to get access. Also notice here that in the other settings section, the password and the expiration settings are not available with this option. This next option is specifically for Teams. You won't see this anywhere else. It says only coaching because I'm working in the coaching team, so it will be different to what you see. Choose this option if you only want the members of the team you're sharing in to have access. With this option, you can set allow editing and block download. And again, we've reduced the amount of people who can use this link down to just this particular team. And therefore, we've reduced the risk of the file being shared with someone we don't want to see it. So next in the list is people with existing access. Now this option doesn't give anyone new access to the file. The link is simply for convenience. So you can copy the link and send it in a chat or an email to someone you already know has access to it. And notice that there are no other settings we can change here. And it's just because we're not making any changes to the permissions. The last one is specific people. And this one needs you to name the people or groups that you want to have access to the file. It adds coaching members here by default. And that's because I'm posting to the coaching team and I want that group to be able to use it. So you can also add other people or groups. So say if I wanted the finance team to be able to use this link, I could type finance and then choose the suggested group from the directory. You can even type in people from outside of your organization here if you want to, and that's only if your administrator allows it. And you can add as many as you need to this list. Now this option is the least risky because we're being so specific. Only people we add here can use the link, so it's the least open option. Once I've made my choice, I can hit apply and it creates the link for me. Now you can see the choice I made, which is people you specify can edit, is on this label down here. When I post the conversation, the file is visible to everyone in the team. Anyone that clicks on it here can open and edit the file. And remember, it will be the file in my OneDrive that gets edited. So in this video, I showed you all the sharing link settings. So now you know how to choose who can use your link and what they can do with it. So look out for more sharing videos coming soon, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.